Good morning from St. Isidore's Farm on a gorgeous Sunday. Laughing at myself because this is like the 10th time I've tried to make this video, but made it yesterday, was editing it this morning and managed to delete it. So here we go again, trying to do this video. Number 9 in the series on successful fathers by James B. Stinson. So let's get right to it. Number 9. Most successful fathers seem to have a number of close friends. The home is open to guests, neighbors, relatives, colleagues from work, friends from childhood. Such men also go out of their way to befriend adults who deal closely with their children, clergy, teachers, coaches, parents of the kids' friends. Close friendship brings out the best in us, and it's healthy for the children to see this. The kids see mom and dad show the courtesy and respect that underlie all true friendship. Moreover, the children learn whom their parents respect and why, and how they show this. As the children grow towards adolescence, the parents have a network of experienced and supportive adults to rely upon for advice and encouragement. This support goes a long way in firming up the parents' judgment and confidence. As I've said with nearly every one of these sections, there's a lot that could be said about this, but try and only hit a few points. I think it really is important, as Stinson said, for us to make it a point to have friends, coworkers, mentors, people that we respect in the home or around the home doing things. It enables our children to see those others, our peers as adults, whom we do respect, as Stinson points out, and why. And that's pretty important, especially in an age, as I mentioned in a previous video, where children themselves grow up in a culture today where they are increasingly oriented towards each other. Many people have written about this and talked about it. A great book, Hold On to Your Kids, that deals specifically with this issue. But they're turning and looking towards each other on how to become adults, and of course the culture feeds that as well. So it seems even more important, ever pressing, for us to put around our kids those people whose thoughts and opinions and attitudes we value. Secondly, to think about that in the way in which we do it. I know a lot of times that when guests perhaps come over to people's house, it's for social things, maybe watching a football game or a basketball game or some other event. And that's good too, because I think children need to see how we as adults interact socially in a fun setting. But one of the things I've thought about a fair amount and talked to other fathers about is the need for kids to see us interacting with each other through work or projects. Children don't, because most of us work outside of the home, they don't get to see us day in and day out laboring or laboring with other people. And that, I think, is really important too, of how virtue is lived out as we interact with our peers. So, I think there about a story my mom tells of when she was a child growing up on a farm, and this is post-Depression, of how families used to get together and all of the women, the wives, the mothers, and all the girls would work in the kitchen nearly all day long, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the men would go out early in the morning and work together with the boys on the farm, come in and eat, and keep going back out. And they would do this in a rotation, going around each other's farms to help. And I think, boy, what an incredibly valuable experience. And it's something that I think even in Amish communities today is still present, that children see their parents and they see their fathers interacting with other men in more than just social situations. The other point to make that I wanted to make about this too is to extend this into other things. Stinson would talk about this, but it's not going to be in these sections of the book. But what are the other things that influence our children in the way that our peer choices, the choice of our friends and those having those people into our home, and what that communicates to our children, and what they're because they are always looking and listening, they're always learning and paying attention to what is going on in the home, whether we think they are or not. They are, and so I think about too our choices of the movies we watch, the things we invest time in, the books we read. That if we want our children to be lifelong learners, or to value art and literature, good music, and those things, that are those the things that they are seeing and hearing us be about. That also the times that we spend talking about those things too. Do we talk about perhaps a book we're reading, or to reflect on and make comments about something, a piece of music, and how that shapes them as well? Why we respect a certain writer or artist or musician. So that's it. This is it's a good point to reflect on, of the making the point to, in this age, when I think many of us by the time we go home tend to go into, especially in suburban communities, go into our homes and that's it, and we hole up in the home and don't really interact in the same ways we might have 100 or 200 years ago, where there was a necessity to interact with other adults, with our children around us, and that has increasingly diminished those experiences. And even as it relates to teaching, the students, where do they see adults interacting with each other? They go to school, they sit in a classroom, a teacher walks in, teaches the subject, and at the end of that, the teacher leaves and perhaps goes to a break room and then does interact with other adults, but they're not interacting with other adults in front of, they're not working, they're not sharing about things, in front of the students as adults in the way they do behind the scenes. Something going on with the chickens down there. So think about that in the course of their day, in an entire, say 12-hour day, where do young people see the adults that they respect, especially their parents and us, their fathers, interacting with other adults, friends, co-workers, family, etc.? So I'm going to try and get this video uploaded without deleting it. Thank you for watching, continuing to pay attention to this series. Thanks to the couple of new subscribers to the channel. Hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video from here at St. Isidore's Farm. God bless.